Picture this. Your alarm goes off. You hit the snooze button twice, and when you finally drag yourself out of bed, your eyes are half closed, your energy is at zero, and you make a straight line right for the kitchen. The only thing standing between you and a productive morning is a steaming, fresh cup of coffee. You pour it, maybe you drink it black, maybe you add a splash of milk, and you drink it down on a completely empty stomach. Within minutes, you feel that familiar rush. Your brain turns on, the fog lifts, and you feel ready to conquer the day. It feels amazing. But what if I told you that this deeply ingrained, innocent morning ritual is secretly throwing your entire body into a state of biochemical chaos? What if that first cup of coffee on an empty stomach is the exact reason why you feel exhausted by 2 in the afternoon? Why you struggle with belly fat that just will not go away? Why you feel anxious for no reason? And why your digestion is completely out of whack? Today, we are diving deep into the medical science of what actually happens inside your human body when coffee hits an empty stomach. I am here as your health researcher to translate the complex medical science into plain English. So while you should always consult your physician for medical advice, get ready to have your mind completely blown by the biology of your daily brew. To understand why drinking coffee on an empty stomach is such a massive shock to your system, we have to start by looking at what your body is actually doing the moment you wake up. You see, your body has a built-in biological clock called the circadian rhythm, and this clock controls a very important hormone called cortisol. Now, cortisol gets a really bad reputation. People call it the stress hormone, and they think it is always a bad thing. But cortisol is actually what keeps you alive. It is the hormone that tells your brain it is time to wake up, be alert, and start moving. When you open your eyes in the morning, your adrenal glands, which are these 2 little walnut-shaped organs sitting right on top of your kidneys, start pumping out cortisol. In fact, your cortisol levels naturally peak within the first hour of waking up. This is your body's natural, built-in cup of coffee. It is a biological jolt of energy designed by nature. Now think about what happens when you take caffeine, which is a powerful central nervous system stimulant, and you dump it into your body at the exact moment your natural cortisol is already maxed out. You're essentially throwing gasoline on a fire. The caffeine artificially forces your adrenal glands to produce even more cortisol, on top of what they were already making. Your body interprets this massive spike in hormones not as energy, but as a severe stress event. Your brain literally thinks you are in physical danger. It triggers your fight or flight response. This is why, instead of feeling smooth, focused energy, drinking coffee on an empty stomach often leaves you feeling wired, jittery, and anxious. Your heart rate increases, your breathing gets shallow, and your body is flooded with stress chemicals. And the worst part? Because you spiked your cortisol so unnaturally high in the morning, it's going to crash unnaturally low in the afternoon. That intense brain fog and exhaustion you feel around 2 or 3 p.m., that is not because you didn't get enough sleep. That is the biological consequence of hijacking your morning cortisol with empty stomach caffeine. But the hormone roller coaster is only the beginning of the story. Let us travel down from your brain and look at what is happening inside your digestive system. Your stomach is a highly sensitive, highly acidic environment. To digest the food you eat, your stomach produces something called hydrochloric acid. This acid is so strong that if you put a drop of it on a piece of wood, it would burn a hole right through it. The only reason it doesn't burn a hole in your stomach is because your stomach has a thick, protective mucus lining. When you wake up in the morning after fasting all night, your stomach is completely empty and it's in a resting state. Then you pour a hot, highly acidic liquid directly into it. Coffee, especially regular black coffee, is very acidic. The moment that acidic coffee hits your empty stomach, it stimulates the production of even more hydrochloric acid. But here's the massive problem. There's no food in your stomach for that acid to digest. So now you have a stomach full of churning, corrosive acid with absolutely nothing to do. The acid starts splashing around, irritating the sensitive lining of your stomach and your intestinal tract. Over time, this daily irritation can lead to severe inflammation. It's one of the leading hidden causes of gastritis, stomach ulcers, and irritable bowel syndrome. Have you ever felt a strange, uncomfortable bloating in your upper belly shortly after your morning coffee? Or maybe a burning sensation in your chest? That burning sensation is acid reflux. At the top of your stomach, there's a small circular muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter. It acts like a trap door, keeping stomach acid from traveling up into your throat. Caffeine has a relaxing effect on this specific muscle, so you're increasing the acid in your stomach while simultaneously relaxing the trap door that keeps the acid trapped inside. The result is that corrosive stomach acid splashes up into your esophagus, causing heartburn, indigestion, and a silent form of reflux that can actually damage your vocal cords and give you a raspy voice over time. When you eat food before drinking coffee, the food acts like a sponge. It soaks up the extra acid, protects your stomach lining, and keeps your digestive system calm and regulated.
Now, let us move to one of the most shocking discoveries recent medical science has made about coffee and the human body. It has to do with your blood sugar. Most people think that because black coffee has 0 calories and 0 sugar, it cannot possibly affect your blood sugar levels. But science proves this is completely false. A groundbreaking study looked at what happens when people drink black coffee before eating breakfast versus eating breakfast before drinking coffee. The results were terrifying. When you drink coffee on an empty stomach, it severely impairs your body's ability to process glucose or sugar for the rest of the day. Because the caffeine has spiked your stress hormones, your body becomes temporarily insulin resistant. Insulin is the key that unlocks your cells to let sugar in for energy. When you're insulin resistant, the key does not work. So, what happens next? An hour after your empty stomach coffee, you finally sit down to eat breakfast. Maybe you have a bowl of oatmeal, a piece of toast, or even a piece of fruit. Because your body's insulin response is currently broken by the caffeine stress, the sugar and carbohydrates from your breakfast cannot get into your cells. Instead, the sugar gets trapped in your bloodstream. Your blood sugar levels skyrocket to dangerous heights. This massive blood sugar spike is a disaster for your health. First, it triggers severe inflammation throughout your body, which damages your blood vessels and accelerates the aging process. Second, what goes up must come down. After that massive spike, your blood sugar will inevitably crash hard. When your blood sugar crashes, your brain panics. It sends out emergency signals demanding quick energy, which translates into intense cravings for sweets, carbs, and junk food. If you find yourself desperately hunting for a donut, a cookie, or a bag of chips in the afternoon, it is very likely because you set your blood sugar up for failure the moment you drank coffee on an empty stomach. Over months and years, this daily blood sugar roller coaster leads to weight gain, specifically stubborn belly fat, and dramatically increases your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. If all of that was not enough, we also need to talk about what coffee on an empty stomach does to your body's hydration and mineral levels. During the 7 to 8 hours you are asleep, you are not drinking any water. You wake up naturally dehydrated. Your cells are thirsty. Your brain, which is mostly water, is slightly shrunken, and your blood is thicker than normal. Instead of hydrating your body with water, you pour in coffee. Caffeine is a known diuretic, meaning it signals your kidneys to flush water out of your system. So you are taking a body that is already severely dehydrated and forcing it to lose even more liquid. But you are not just losing water. As your kidneys flush out the liquid, they are also flushing out crucial life-sustaining minerals like magnesium, potassium, and sodium. Magnesium, in particular, is the relaxation mineral of the body. It keeps your muscles calm, your heartbeat regular, and your nervous system peaceful. When you deplete your magnesium levels first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, you are setting the stage for muscle cramps, eye twitches, tension headaches, and severe anxiety. Your nervous system literally lacks the minerals it needs to keep you calm. This dehydration also slows down your digestion, leading to chronic constipation, and it dries out your skin, making fine lines and wrinkles look much deeper and more noticeable. At this point, you might be thinking, do I have to give up coffee forever? Absolutely not. Coffee, when consumed correctly, is actually packed with powerful antioxidants. It can improve brain function, protect your liver, and even help you live longer. The problem is not the coffee itself. The problem is the timing and the completely empty stomach. So, how do we fix this? How do you get the amazing benefits of your morning coffee without destroying your hormones, your gut lining, and your blood sugar? The medical science points to a very simple, incredibly effective morning protocol. It only takes a few small shifts in your routine to completely change how your body reacts to caffeine. Step 1 is hydration before stimulation. Before a single drop of coffee touches your lips, you need to rehydrate the machine that is your body. Drink a large glass of room temperature water the moment you wake up. For an extra health hack, add a tiny pinch of high-quality sea salt or Himalayan pink salt to the water. This replenishes the sodium and trace minerals your adrenal glands desperately need to function properly. Step 2 is the 90-minute rule. Remember that natural cortisol spike we talked about earlier? You want to let your body wake itself up naturally. Delay your first cup of coffee for at least 90 minutes to 2 hours after waking up. By doing this, you allow your natural cortisol levels to peak and slowly begin to fall. When you introduce caffeine at this later time, it fills in the gap as your natural energy dips. You'll get a much smoother, longer-lasting energy boost without the anxiety, without the jitters, and without the afternoon crash.
Step 3, and this is the most important rule of all, is to build a protective buffer. You must put something in your stomach before the coffee goes in. You do not necessarily need to eat a massive, heavy breakfast, but you need foods that will soak up the stomach acid and stabilize your blood sugar. The absolute best buffer for coffee is protein and healthy fats. Think a couple of scrambled eggs, a handful of almonds, some Greek yogurt, or even a piece of avocado toast. Protein and fat coat the lining of your stomach, protecting it from the acidic damage of the coffee. They also slow down digestion, which means when the caffeine does enter your bloodstream, it absorbs slowly and steadily, rather than hitting your brain like a sudden lightning strike. If you practice intermittent fasting and you absolutely cannot eat food in the morning, the science suggests adding a source of fat directly to your coffee, like a spoonful of grass-fed butter, coconut oil, or heavy cream. While this breaks a strict fast, the fat will at least coat your stomach lining and slow the absorption of the caffeine, preventing the worst of the hormone and blood sugar damage. Your body is an incredibly complex, brilliant machine. It responds to the environment you create for it. When you wake up dehydrated, stressed, and empty, and you immediately flood your system with acidic caffeine, you are forcing your body into a state of panic and survival. But when you take just a little bit of time to hydrate, to eat a nourishing source of protein, and to delay that caffeine until your hormones are ready for it, coffee goes from being a destructive habit to a powerful, health-boosting tool. Try this new protocol tomorrow morning. Drink your water, eat a high-protein breakfast, and wait 90 minutes before you pour that cup of coffee. I promise you, within just a few days, your energy levels will stabilize, your afternoon cravings will vanish, your stomach will feel calmer, and you will finally feel like you are in control of your own biology. Thank you for joining me today to decode the science of your body. Stay healthy, make smart choices, and remember that every single bite and every single sip is an opportunity to heal.